unfortunately, a similar situation, a couple games in this league earlier where, a couple key points in the game we weren't able to execute either offensively where we turned the ball over. I think just looking through it from the 18-minute mark to the 12-minute mark, 6 minutes, we had, 5 or 6 turnovers in that stretch. That puts you in a difficult situation, especially when it's going to be a lower possession game, going to be a grinded-out game, and still with that, the second key I thought was they got some big offensive rebounds in some crucial times. We did not rebound the ball well. I know the stats will say it was basically even, but it wasn't. They got the big ones when they needed them, when they were down to keep possessions alive. I think we got a few there at the end of the game, so it's skewed a little bit there. Even with all that being said, with 5 minutes to go, it's a tie game. And at that particular point, at home or on the road or whatever, you got to figure out a way to win the game. And we weren't able to do that. Turnover here or there or a missed shot, and we weren't able to get some crucial stops there. We cut it to 5 with just under 2 minutes to go, and we need a big stop. And in the past, we've been able to come up with those. And we had a missed coverage on it and just weren't able to get the job done. Another key point, I thought there was some critical times in the games, and this has happened before too, where you step up to the free throw line, and if you make 2 free throws, you go from up 2 to up 4, or you go from tie game to a 1-point lead, and it's just a different feel of the game. And unfortunately, we go 7 to 13 from the free throw line, and every one of those misses seemed big, where we could have either stopped the bleeding or extended it from 3 points or 2 points to 3 points or 4 points. Just weren't able to do that. And, we just got to keep plugging away and keep fighting, and, guys got to we got some guys that need to step up for us in this last 3 weeks of the season.
Do you think at this point there's maybe some it's becoming more mental than anything else with the...
No, we're a week away from winning a game like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't inherently right now have the consistency and the toughness, both mental toughness and physical toughness that you need to win all those games. We've probably won 30% of them or 40%. When you're good, you win 80% of them. And Clemson has won those, and that's why they're 8-6 in the league. The season's going to be determined by those games. With 8 minutes to go in the game, it's a 1 or 2 possession game. How many of those do you win? And we've done that against Notre Dame, and every win we've had more or less has been like that. So four of those have been wins. We've probably lost 6 or 7 of them.
With Robert, how far away do you think he is from being...
Well, I thought he was making progress. He didn't play well today. He'll be the first one to admit it. He was off rhythm, and I think he was moving pretty good. But again, I mean, it's a broken record, but we're banged up. You know what I mean? We're banged up. Cam hasn't practiced in the last 3 days. I thought he gave a good effort. We needed him on the glass. I thought he did a good job. He gave us 20 minutes. Marcus's foul trouble hurt us a little bit in the first half, where maybe we could have extended the lead. Robert, 6 defensive rebounds is good. We need him on the offensive glass, and we need him scoring on the block for us. And we weren't able to do that.
That stretch in the second half with the turnovers, it seems like there was some lazy passes. Is that a focus issue? Or?
Yeah, it just you have to be assertive. You can't do anything casual. There was one play where they didn't get the steal on it, but it was as casual of play as I've seen our team make all year long on an inbounds, on a baseline, out of bounds. And I'm not sure if it's there's got to be a mental fatigue there a little bit, or a mental focus piece of that. Probably is a little bit of a physical focus. And I just think that we gotta. Yeah, that thing's screwed up. Just gotta, figure out a way to, like I said, because of the injuries and stuff like that, our guys have logged an extensive amount of minutes. That's the first time in a long time that, Daniel, who's had a tremendous senior year, didn't make some big defensive rebounds and stuff for us. So we got to, you got to take a look at that. It's been hard because we can't really practice. Hard to get in any rhythm, and because of that, I think there's going to be lapses in some of our key components.
With regards to the turnover stretch there in the second half, I mean, how much of it was whatever you want to call lack of focus or insufficient toughness on your part? How much was them getting up into your ball handling?
A lot of the turnovers weren't right on the ball. You know what I mean? And there was a one-handed catch there. There was a possession where you didn't need to throw the pass, and we threw the ball into the backcourt. And so when you have that many in that amount of time, it's probably a lot of different reasons to it. One could be because of them pressuring the ball. The other one could be a lazy cut. Another one could be a one-handed pass. Just not reading the situation on a couple plays. So I think it was a multitude of sins that created those. If it was just one thing, it'd be a lot easier to figure out.
Did Clemson do anything to make it tougher to get Daniel touches in the second half?
Well, I think they pressured more. So yeah, but again, you got to be good enough to get in the ball. We started off, we got in the ball in the first possession of the second half, but I'm not sure you got a post touch any time after that.
Would it be fair to say you felt like they played a little more energy in the second half?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that without reservation. Now, is there rational explanations and reasons for that? Yeah, but we got to fight. That's where we're not at yet. You know what I mean? We're not at the ability to fight through logical and rational reasons. Because to be successful in this league, sometimes you need to bust through those. And we just haven't had that ability to do that on a consistent basis. Sometimes that's more frustrating, where you show it and then 48 hours later or 3 days later, you don't. And it's just not, who we are yet.
Corey played 20 minutes, didn't take one shot. Do you want him to be more part of the offense to give the defense more to think about out there?
Well, I think he takes, he understands that the shots he's going to take are going to come when he's open. You know what I mean? And I don't think he passed up any open shots. He's not at a point yet in his career where he's going to create a shot for himself. So I don't remember watching the, in terms of the game flow where he was open and I said, man, he should have shot that shot. You know what I mean? I think, he's very similar to, the kid Hall a little bit when Hall was a freshman. He would play a game and take one shot the whole game. And I think that's I think one of the pieces of credit that you need to give Clemson is, and this has kind of been their formula for them against us, is they've had one or two of their peripheral players play exceptionally well against us. And many times it's a guard. In this case, it was Harrison. Down there, it was Roper. And I think that's and obviously, we're not getting that in particular right now from the non-go-to guys or main cogs of the offense. We're not getting a lot of that. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but, I think that's, his 15 points is the difference in the game. You know, we did a good job again on KJ McDaniels. He goes 0 for 5 from the 3, gets 1 offensive rebound the entire night, which is a tremendous job. Did a great job on Rod Hall. Their post men hurt us, and they're, you know, some of it on offensive rebounds, and Harrison hurt us. And I think that's the second time. I think down there last year he hurt us a little bit. All right.
Turnovers took place and maybe some lazy passes, that type of thing. As a player, how did you view it?
I agree with that. I think that I made some bad reads or, you know, passed it, and I guess a way that they, you know, my teammates couldn't get the ball. So I know, you know, a lot of that falls on me. But, you know, it's tough, but sometimes that's, you know, we got to bail each other out sometimes. So I just think that's just the way it felt.
How close to 100% are you right now, do you think?
I mean, it depends on what you define as 100%. I think a lot of guys in the country right now are banged up. You might not know about it, but, I mean, I say I'm, you know, 85, 90%. You know, growing injuries take a while to heal. It's one of those things that you can't, you know, nothing can numb it. So it's there, but I'm moving fine. There's no excuses, nothing. So I'm, you know, just happy to play.
You had a good game from the 3. Did you feel pretty comfortable shooting the 3 today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, hurt or not hurt, I'm at confidence in my shot. I think today I was able to move in the open spots better than, you know, the past couple games when I hurt it. But, you know, I just came out with aggressive mindset, wanted to, you know, be aggressive and just kind of play off our bigs. They help a lot. So I was just trying to do that.
Trae, I imagine that as a leader and senior on this team, some losses are easier to accept than others because, you know, maybe you kind of left it all out for a game like today. I'm guessing it's not quite that way. You just felt like there's more you guys could have done.
Yeah, you know, as a leader, that is tough, and as a senior, that's tough. You know, when you looked at it from a collective standpoint, yeah, but you know, I'm the type of guy. Every time I get on the court, I'm playing, you know, my heart out. Maybe collectively, you know, there are moments where we can look back and be like, you know, well, we didn't have it. You know, sometimes it's an it factor. It's a big rebound. It's a 50-50 ball, and sometimes you don't have it. So collectively, yeah, you know, I feel like we can maybe look at it like that. And it's always tougher, I think. You know, I was a freshman, sophomore, and junior, and you know, I guess in a selfish way, I always kind of like, you always kind of shrug your shoulders. But as a senior, you know, I only have one more home game in my college career, and you know, that's probably walking off the court is the toughest thing to swallow at these games, and being hurt and all that. That's the hardest thing, I think, more than anything.
Let's do 1 or 2 more for Trae, and then we'll let you go.
I really don't pay too much attention to that. I just, you know, try my hardest to get to the rim, whether, you know, if they call it or not. My goal is to, you know, try to get to the basket and finish. If they call it, that's good, but if they don't, I still have to find a way to finish it.
When you all went through that stretch in the second half, turnovers were such an issue. Is there a point where you can feel the game or your team vibe slipping away? I mean, I think there was a stretch from when you were up 9, very early in the half, to when they took their first lead. You guys had 7 turnovers and they had 0. There was a huge disparity, and they were scoring off a lot of your turnovers. Do you remember that stretch?
Yeah, like you said, the vibe got, you know, kind of, you know, out of control, arguing a little bit. We didn't keep our composure. People were getting mad at each other and stuff like that. But I kept trying to, you know, say, you know, move on to the next play and let's get it back. That's the whole idea. You know, you make a mistake. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but you got to learn how to move on to the next play, and you turned it over. So, you know, let's get a stop and get a rebound and try to score the next possession. So that's the whole mindset. I think, yeah, we lost our vibe a little bit off of those 7 turnovers, and they executed off of those.
Did you feel that their pressure was different defensively during that stretch than it was in the first half?
Not really. I didn't see it. They was kind of denying a little bit more, but it wasn't really a hard pressure.
With McDaniel, it's funny. I mean, I felt like he defended pretty well, but he still finds a way to score. He gets 16 points. Seems like he's kind of one of those guys who's going to find a way to get to the rim and kind of get garbage points or whatever it is. What's it like to defend a player like that?
Player like that, he's a good player, but you know, he can shoot, but you know, he's not really a shooter. He likes to attack the basket, and he's real active off the ball. So you have to keep your head on the swivel. You have to keep him off the glass because he doesn't go every time, but he picks and chooses when he wants to go. So player like that, he's real active, and that's where he get a lot of his points because he's so active, slashing and backdoor cuts and, you know, offensive rebounds, and he finds ways to, you know, get the ball and score it.
Thanks, Mark.
Right.
Thank you.